Students, water not only serves life but also the studious minds. Today we are going to study about one such property of water. Students, the property which I was talking about was density of the water. The density of the water can be used to find out the relative densities of other materials. And to start with, we are going to revise few things so that we get a good and perfect knowledge about relative density, because many days have passed in between, so I'd like to revise this particular topic. Buoyancy. The upward force exerted by the water on anything is known as upthrust or buoyant force. So, if this is an object, then the water or any liquid exerts the upward force on the object. This upthrust force or upward force is called as the buoyant force. The magnitude of this buoyant force depends on the density of the fluid. Okay, so it depends upon the density of the fluid, the buoyant force. So, why do objects float or sink when placed on the surface of water? The objects of density less than that of the liquid floats on the liquid. So, this is the cork which is floating on the liquid. Why it is floating on the liquid? Because its density is less than that of the liquid. Then the object of density greater than that of the liquid sinks in the liquid. So this is a nail. The nail's density is more than that of the water or any liquid. Okay, if that is the case, then it will surely sink into the liquid. Then comes the Archimedes Principle. Archimedes Principle stated, when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. I repeat the statement. When a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. This was first discovered and stated by Archimedes. So, the name of the principle is Archimedes Principle. Now comes the density. The density of the substance is defined as mass per unit volume. So, closer the particle, more is the density. Here, there is a picture of a graduated cylinder containing various colored liquids with different densities. So, this dark colored liquid is most dense. So, it has occupied the bottom of the test tube, whereas the green colored liquid is little dense compared to this dark colored liquid. So, it is above that liquid. So there are different colored liquids with different density. The most dense is at the bottom and the most light is at the top. So that's the behavior of any material with a certain density. So more the dense the substance is, more it will sink downwards. So these pictures are taken, some of the pictures are taken from Wikipedia. So I mentioned it here. Well, now comes the real topic, the relative density. As you know, the density of the substance is defined as mass per unit volume, and the unit of it is kg per meter cube. The density of a given substance under a specified condition remains the same. So as far as you take or you keep the conditions same, like temperature, pressure, if you keep it same, the density won't change. Therefore, the density of substance is one of its characteristic properties. It is different for different substances. For example, if I take water and oil, then oil density is less than that of the water. So you will find that oil floats on the water. Now there is an example, the density of the gold. What is density of the gold? The density of the gold is around 19,300 kg per meter cube, while that of the water is 1000 kg per meter cube. The density of the given sample of the substance can help us to determine its purity. So, this is an image of a US Navy aviation boatswain mate who is testing the specific gravity of or the relative density of the JP5 fuel. What is JP5? It is the fuel used in the jet engines. Okay, so jet aircrafts or such aircrafts, fighter planes, in these aircrafts they need a specific fuel and it has to be tested for its purity. And how do they test its purity? By finding out the relative density. Okay, so how do you find relative density? It is often convenient to express the density of the substance in comparison with that of the water. The relative density of the substance is a ratio of its density to that of the water. So the formula goes like this: relative density is equal to density of substance divided by density of water. Since the relative density is ratios of similar quantities, so at the numerator also there is density, at denominator also there is density. Both are same quantities, so it has no units. You have to always remember this. If the numerator and denominators have same quantities, same physical quantities, then they don't have units. Well, now we will solve one numerical. The density of the silver is 10.8. It is not simply density, it is relative density. So relative density of silver has been given, it is 10.8. And density of water is 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube. This is not 103. This should be 10 raised to 3. So by mistake I have mentioned it 10 raised to 3 instead of raised to. That raised to has been missed out here. So this should be 10 raised to 3. 10 raised to 3 means 1000 kg per meter cube. Now relative density, it is given 10.8. How do you find density of silver? You can find it by using the formula for relative density. So relative density is density of silver upon density of water. So what will be the density of silver? It will be equal to relative density of silver into density of water. So 10.8 into 10 raised to 3, this will give you how much? You can keep it as it is, or you can write 10800 kg per meter cube, or else the best way is to keep this number as it is. No need to solve it because it is already solved. Many times in higher classes also people don't multiply 10 to the power something. Okay, so this is order of magnitude. You can consider this as order of magnitude and this is the number. So 10.8 into 10 raised to 3 kg per meter cube is your final answer. You can keep this as it is, or else you can also write 10,800 kg per meter cube. It's okay, both the things are allowed. So that was all for today. Now some homework for you. You can solve these problems. If a fresh egg is put into a beaker filled with water, it sinks. On dissolving lot of salt in the water, the egg begins to rise and then it floats. The question is why this happens. Second question, define relative density. Okay, this is one, and the other sub question is relative density of mercury is 13.6. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. What is the density of mercury? That you have to find. And last but not the least, relative density of gold has been given 19.3. Density of water, as you all know, it is 1000 kg per meter cube. You have to find the density of the gold in SI unit, also in gram per cc. So solve these problems. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. So see you in next session with the new lesson, new topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye.